Good evening, delegates. All right, delegates. If I'm audible to all of you, please react with a thumbs up in the comment section so that I can just know and we can start with the session as soon as possible. सब बोल रहे हैं MUN 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 की अगर हम बात करें तो what exactly is MUN? Can any of you tell me the full form of MUN? So that is Model United Nations. Ab model word is used since we are organizing it in real life. But United Nations, see, we will start from the very core कि एमयून होता क्या है, हम एकदम बेसिक से स्टार्ट करते हैं. ठीक है. अब यूनाइटेड नेशंस क्या होता है? सिंपल चीज. यूनाइटेड नेशन इज अ मल्टीनेशनल इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन which has 193 countries as the member states, and it was formed after the World War II so that we can maintain international peace, promote human rights, sustainable development, international cooperation, and cater to the multiple problems we have all throughout the world. See, I will make it in very simple words now. All of you live in societies or whichever sector you live in. There is a RWA, Residents Welfare Association, right? And in that RWA, if you might have listened, कभी कभी मम्मी पापा को बात करते कि RWA की मीट है, जाना है. तो आपके घर में से कोई एक बड़ा इंसान जाता है बात करने के लिए? और यू से टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ G20 समिट. G20 समिट सुना था सबने? इट हैपेंड इन इंडिया. उसमें क्या था? दैट leaders from multiple countries came and they had a discussion on a like common topic. They had a meeting, right? Now यूनाइटेड नेशन इज ऑल्सो मल्टीनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जिसमें बहुत सारी कंट्रीज से 193 कंट्रीज आर पार्ट एंड दे हैव फॉर्म्ड अ single organization so that they can discuss the issues, the real life problems which are happening all throughout the world. जैसे इंडिया में, हम इंडिया की भी बात क्या करें, हम सिर्फ हरियाणा की भी बात करें तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स होंगी, राइट? से ड्रेनेज सिस्टम, सेफ्टी, वुमेन राइट्स, ये सारी चीजें तो ऑल थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड, पूरी दुनिया में भी बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं. से हेल्थ केयर, वी हैव हेल्थ केयर, चाइल्ड सेफ्टी, इन्वायरमेंट एंड सो ऑन. ये बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं. And to cater all of these problems all throughout happening all in the world, United Nations was formed so that altogether all countries can actually come up with a single thing and discuss these problems all together. And model United Nations means MUN. MUN is basically a real life example, or you say a real life simulation of how यूनाइटेड नेशंस एक्चुअली वर्क. कि यूनाइटेड नेशंस में कैसे एक्चुअली में लीडर्स बात करते हैं, वो कैसे होता है. And MUN gives you a real life scenario and a real life feeling of what is happening in United Nations only. That is why it is model United Nations. And I hope we are clear till here that United Nations is a multinational organization with 193 countries as the member countries, which is made to cater issues like healthcare, child safety, environment. We have issues related to, you know, AI and all of these things. एंड उसी के लिए यूनाइटेड नेशंस के अंदर देर आर मल्टीपल ऑर्गन्स. एंड व्हाट आर दीज मल्टीपल ऑर्गन्स नाउ? In United Nations also, multiple organs are there. Say International Court of Justice. अब पूरा मैं लिखने बैठूंगी तो it will take a lot of time. But let me tell you, for justice, for environment, for healthcare, ये अलग अलग यूनाइटेड नेशंस के अंदर भी बॉडीज हैं जो इन पर्टिकुलर इश्यूज के ऊपर स्पेसिफिक होके बात करती हैं. अब मैं इन बॉडीज के बारे में बात क्यों कर रही हूँ? All of you might have been allocated a committee. ये कमिटी आपको अलॉट हुई होगी सबको, राइट? All of you might have been in one committee: WHO, UNHRC, UNCSW, WHO. एंड कुछ लोग यहाँ पे आईपी के भी होंगे, विच इज फोटोग्राफी एंड वीडियोग्राफी. ओके, नाउ इन MUN, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, यूनाइटेड नेशंस में भी मल्टीपल ऑर्गन्स होते हैं, सो दैट वी कैन बी वेरी पर्टिकुलर ऑन स्पेसिफिक इश्यूज. जैसे डिपार्टमेंट कह सकते हो आप. जैसे आपके स्कूल के अंदर HR डिपार्टमेंट होता है, अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट होता है, राइट? सो दैट एक डिपार्टमेंट एक चीज पे ध्यान दे. उसी तरह से यूनाइटेड नेशंस में भी देयर आर मल्टीपल डिपार्टमेंट्स, इन इजी वर्ड्स. एंड उसी तरह से व्हेन वी हैव अलॉटेड यू कमिटीज, these committees are specific, right? One committee which is WHO, which is World Health Organization, so this will talk on healthcare issues. UNHRC means United Nations Human Rights Council, तो ह्यूमन राइट्स के बारे में यहाँ बात होगी. ह्यूमन राइट्स, ओके. ये है UNCSW, यूनाइटेड नेशंस कमीशन फॉर स्टेटस ऑफ विमेन, तो विमेन राइट्स के लिए यहाँ पे बात होगी. And again, I've written WHO. Wait, one is UNEP. We have, okay. UNEP. UNEP is there when you talk for environment and environment related issues. United Nations Environment Program. All right. आपको अभी तक हमने क्या बात करी है कि MUN का फुल फॉर्म है मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशंस, and it is a real life simulation of how exactly United Nations work in real life. It is a multinational organization which has around 193 countries जो actually में exist करता है. It talks on different issues: healthcare, child safety, environment. And now United Nations has different organs जो specific issues के ऊपर बात करते हैं. And now जो committees की बात हो रही है, why are these committees? These committees are there so that we can be more specific when we are talking about a particular issue. And for that we have WHO, UNHRC, CSW, UNEP, and IP photography at Xanthron MUN. Okay, now delegates, I hope you are aware that all of you have a agenda. How many of you are aware with the agenda of your committees? Have you listened this word agenda? I can check the comment section. Comment section में तो कुछ और ही चल रहा है. Anyone in 9th? Okay. Delegates, I see a lot of you are fighting here for some reason. Okay. All right. I hope all of you are aware with the word agenda. I'll write it here again. Okay. अब ये agenda क्या है? See, MUN is basically using a lot of technical words. And why is that happening? मैं agenda को topic भी बोल सकती थी, but हम agenda क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि there is a reason behind that. At Model United Nations at any MUN conference, you learn how exactly in real life things work. So that is why we use terminologies like agenda, committees, rules of procedure, so that you know how exactly things happen in reality. अब agenda क्या होता है? Say in simple words, if I tell you, agenda means the topic. That's it. It's very simple. Here we talked that we have different committees: WHO, HRC, CSW, UNEP, and agenda means the topic of particular committee. कि ये कमिटी किस बारे में बात करेगी. Now tell me, delegates, tell me one thing. There is a multinational meeting happening, a very important meeting happening. उस मीटिंग का कोई टॉपिक तो होगा. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि जो जिसके मन में आएगा वो उस बारे में बात करेगा. There will be a particular topic, a particular issue जिसके ऊपर डिस्कशन होगा, on which the discussion would happen. So, whenever you are there in any MUN committee, every committee has a particular issue on which the committee will talk upon. एक पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम जिसके ऊपर वो कमेटी बात करने वाली है, दैट इज एजेंडा. एजेंडा इज बेसिकली टॉपिक, टॉपिक ऑफ द कमिटी, राइट. जैसे आप WHO में हो, वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, तो हम कौन सी हेल्थ केयर इशू के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, दैट एजेंडा विल टेल. वी आर इन UNHRC, ह्यूमन राइट्स काउंसिल, तो हम कौन सी ह्यूमन राइट्स के वायोलेशन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, हम कौन सी ह्यूमन राइट्स की प्रॉब्लम के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, दैट इज एजेंडा ऑफ द कमिटी. CSW, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि विमेन हैव जस्ट वन इशू. बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं. इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू सेफ्टी, इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू अबॉर्शन राइट्स, अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, राइट. So your agenda tells you on which particular problem we are talking about. Exactly in UNEP, environment program, environment related भी बहुत सारे issues है, like ozone layer depletion, and you say depletion of water table, a lot of things, right. Degradation of the natural resources, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. तो हम particularly कौन से topic के ऊपर बात करेंगे, so that we can be more specific. We have agenda. Agenda means the topic of the particular committee. And for both the 2 days, the committee will talk and work only on the basis of agenda. All right. Now, what is this word portfolio? Port. All of you might have seen that this word would be there written in your emails which you have got, right? The emails which you have got from Xanthron team, वहां पे word portfolio लिखा होगा. Portfolio means the country allotted to you. Now, as I told that MUN is real life simulation of United Nations, and उसके अंदर कितनी सारी countries हैं? We have 193 countries, right? तो ऐसा तो नहीं है ना कि यूनाइटेड नेशन में सारे इंडिया के ही लोग बैठे होंगे. People from all these countries would be coming. एटलीस्ट अगर सभी कंट्रीज को बुलाया है तो मिनिमम 100 कंट्रीज, या से ओके, लेट्स टेक अ नंबर, अ फिक्शनल नंबर, लेट्स से a meeting of 50 countries is happening. 50 countries की meet हो रही है. Okay. Now, it is not possible that every person from this 50 country will come and participate. मान लो आपके, दोबारा से हम RW वाले एग्जाम्पल पे जाते हैं. RW ने सबको बुलाया कि आज एक मीटिंग होगी. तो आपके घर में से सारे लोग तो जाएंगे नहीं. कोई एक इंसान, वन रिप्रेजेंटेटिव विल गो, which will represent your home. Similarly, when there is a world level meeting happening, all people from all those countries will not go. because it is not practically possible to accommodate everyone, right? So usually what happens is one person from each country, or maximum two, goes and represents their country. That is being a delegate. ये जो हम वर्ड डेलीगेट डेलीगेट सुनते हैं, दैट सिंपली मीन्स a representative or a diplomat. Diplomat means someone who's representing the country on global level. अभी आप लोग भी बहुत सारे अलग अलग स्कूल से होंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फरीदाबाद के सारे स्कूल्स के बच्चों की मीटिंग हो रही है, तो हर स्कूल डिसाइड करता है कि हमारे स्कूल से एक बच्चा जाएगा, द बेस्ट किड फ्रॉम आवर स्कूल विल गो. ठीक है, तो दैट किड विल रिप्रेजेंट योर स्कूल. मान लो आप अपने स्कूल से सिलेक्ट हो रहे हो, तो यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग योर स्कूल इन दैट मीटिंग जहाँ पे फरीदाबाद के सारे स्कूल आ रहे हैं. तो यू कैन ऑल्सो बी कॉल्ड अ डेलीगेट फ्रॉम स्कूल, राइट? इसी तरह से योर पोर्टफोलियो, योर पोर्टफोलियो मीन्स द कंट्री विच इज अलॉटेड टू यू. And for example, 50 countries are there. So one person, one representative from each country would be there, which is called delegate. Delegate simply means someone who's representing that country. Delegate of India, delegate of China, delegate of Spain means the person who's representing India is delegate of India. The person who's representing China is the delegate of China. All right. So till here, what we have learned is that MUN, United Nations, different committees are there. Agenda is the topic of the particular committee, the particular issue on which the discussion would happen. Portfolio means the country which is allotted to you. All right. And delegate means the representative. Delegate means basically the representative. Now exactly करना क्या होता है? What exactly do you do with when you have a particular committee allotted? Meanwhile, before we move into another segment, I will take a break of 1 minute so that all of you can summarize what all things we have discussed right now, and you can write your doubts in the comment section. And then we will begin with the next part of the boot camp for today. All of you have time of 1 to 2 minutes. If you have any doubts till now, you can write. ऑल राइट डेलीगेट्स, तो मेन डाउट्स आ रहे हैं हाउ टू प्रिपेयर अ स्पीच, उस पे हम आएंगे. एंड एजेंडा कब शेयर होगा? ऑल ऑफ यू, we have already posted the agendas of particular committees on the Instagram page. You can go and check Xanthron's Instagram page, which is at the rate Xanthron underscore MUN. All right. Agenda अगर आपको सर्च करना है तो we will what we will do is आज after the session I will again share the agendas on your particular committee groups, but each and everything is there on the Instagram ID, which is at the rate Xanthron. यहाँ पे आपको सारी कमिटीज के एजेंडा मिल जाएंगे. इट इज ऑलरेडी पोस्टेड एंड कीपिंग अ नोट ऑफ द एजेंडा इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज एजेंडा के ऊपर ही पूरा कॉन्फ्रेंस वर्क करती है फॉर पर्टिकुलर कमिटीज. एंड इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू बी अवेयर विद व्हाट एजेंडा इज. क्योंकि एजेंडा ही नहीं पता होगा तो आपको ये नहीं समझ आएगा कि आपको रिसर्च किस टॉपिक के ऊपर करनी है. व्हाट इज द इशू वी आर डिस्कसिंग. हमने जो बात करी थी ना, agenda, particular topic of committee, particular issue. So yeah, this agenda is there posted on the Instagram ID, and moreover, after the session today, I will again post the agendas again on your particular committee groups. I hope that works. Moreover, about speech कैसे बनानी है, rules क्या होते हैं, उस सब पे हम आ रहे हैं. All right. Okay. Delegates, see, all of you. Now I will टॉक लिटिल मोर अबाउट कि आपको एग्जैक्टली कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, रिसर्च कैसे करनी है. एंड देन वी विल कम टू द रूल्स ऑफ प्रोसीजर. सी, all of you have one country. You are the delegate of one country. Your portfolio means your country, and you are the delegate of that country. Now, see, for example, you are in UNEP, or for example, say I what I will do is I am taking a uniform example to make you all understand. Okay. Let's take an example. Let's imagine that all of us are in CSW committee, UN CSW. All of us are in the committee of women rights and we are talking on abortion rights. ठीक है. ये अभी मैं सबके लिए सेम एग्जांपल ले रही हूँ so that there is uniformity and I can explain you all in a better manner. ठीक है. I'm not saying कि सबकी कमिटी CSW ही है and उसका टॉपिक abortion rights है, but I'm taking a imaginary example. Okay. Now, सब लोग women rights कमिटी के अंदर हैं जिसका एजेंडा इज abortion rights. तो अब जिस इंसान के पास चाइना है, जिसके पास फ्रांस है, someone who has Spain, someone who has Argentina, all of these countries, what you have to do is you need to defend your country at all grounds. Now, ये क्यों? In an MUN, you do not have to pay attention of what you think personally, but what you have to do is if you are allotted a country, you defend that country even if you personally do not agree with that. For example, someone has been allocated Pakistan. I am sure that we as Indians do not really believe in what Pakistan does and we do not find it right. But if in an MUN, sorry, if you are allocated Pakistan also, you need to defend Pakistan. For you, that is your home country for those 2 days. Because I told you that आप उस country के representative हो. You are the diplomat who is representing that country on an international platform. That is MUN. Even if you do not personally agree to what that country is doing, but in an MUN, you need to defend what your country is. Just give me a second. Yeah, so sorry. Okay, सी डेलीगेट्स पोर्टफोलियो योर कंट्री आपको करना क्या होता है एग्जैक्टली exactly, जिस भी कमिटी के अंदर हो जो भी एजेंडा है उसको रिलेट में रख के उसको मेन बेस रख के आपको अपनी कंट्री के हिसाब से रिसर्च करनी होती है कि व्हाट स्टैंड्स योर कंट्री हैज ऑन द पर्टिकुलर इशू वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आप जिस भी कमिटी के अंदर हो सेट CSW WHO UNEP बट ओके आई थिंक मैं गलती से म्यूट हो गई थी ऑल राइट आपको अपनी कंट्री को डिफेंड करना है फॉर दोज 2 days यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग दैट कंट्री फॉर यू दैट कंट्री इज द बेस्ट कंट्री इवन इफ यू हैव पाकिस्तान इवन इफ यू हैव चाइना इवन इफ यू हैव अफगानिस्तान आपके लिए वो बेस्ट कंट्री है बिकॉज यू आर रिप्रेजेंटिंग दैट कंट्री इवन इफ यू पर्सनली डिसएग्री ठीक है बेसिकली अपनी कंट्री की बात रखो एजेंडा के हिसाब से सर्च करो कि क्या एजेंडा है उस पे आपको जो एलोकेटेड कंट्री है उसका क्या स्टांस है अगर हम अपने अबॉर्शन राइट्स वाले एग्जांपल पे वापस आए तो मान लो किसी के पास है फ्रांस तो दैट पर्सन विल रिसर्च अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट फ्रांस हैज से ऑन अबॉर्शन राइट्स राइट व्हाट अब बात ये भी जरूरी है ऐसा नहीं है कि एमयूएन के अंदर आप सिर्फ अपनी कंट्री के बारे में उस टॉपिक के बारे में पढ़ के आ जाओ in an MUN, you cross question other countries also. You raise question, you ask, you answer. So you need to even have a basic idea about other countries also. कि what is happening all around in the world on that topic. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम टेररिज्म के ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं ठीक है अब टेररिज्म के ऊपर बात हो रही है एंड मान लो कमिटी के अंदर पाकिस्तान एंड इंडिया है तो इंडिया तो पाकिस्तान के ऊपर ऑब्वियसली क्वेश्चन रेज करेगा कि पाकिस्तान ने इतने टेररिस्ट बूट कैंप्स को फंड किया है इनके बहुत सारे ये है सारी चीजें हैं तो ऑब्वियसली इंडिया कैन क्वेश्चन पाकिस्तान इन एमयूएन ऑल्सो अगर सेम कमेटी के अंदर बैठे हैं तो ठीक है पाकिस्तान भी इंडिया को क्वेश्चन कर सकता है एक दूसरे को क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग हो सकती है बट ये क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग कब होगी मान लो जो इंडिया का डेलीगेट है उसको यही नहीं पता कि पाकिस्तान में टेररिज्म प्रमोट होता है एंड पाकिस्तान इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट टेररिज्म हब इन द वर्ल्ड उसको पता ही नहीं है तो कैसे वो क्वेश्चन रेज करेगा सिमिलरली आप जिस भी कमिटी के अंदर हो विच एवर कमिटी यू आर इन ऑल्सो रिसर्च वॉट एग्जैक्टली other countries are also doing in that. I'm not saying that do a detailed research about every portfolio. Do a detailed research on your portfolio mainly, but take a good idea of other countries also. जिसमें mainly see, I'll tell you a secret in this. जो भी आपका एजेंडा है उस एजेंडा से रिलेटेड उन कंट्रीज के बारे में रिसर्च करो जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स है उस एजेंडा को लेके ठीक है मान लो हम दोबारा अपने अबॉर्शन राइट्स वाले एजेंडा का टॉपिक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं हम इसके ऊपर बात कर रहे हैं अबॉर्शन राइट्स के ऊपर ठीक है एंड मान लो आपके पास है फ्रांस ठीक है अब सर्च करो कि इसके ऊपर कौन सी कंट्रीज हैं जिसमें अबॉर्शन राइट्स एकदम लो हैं मतलब देर आर सम कंट्रीज जिसमें अबॉर्शन कराना इलीगल भी है ठीक है देर आर सम कंट्रीज इसमें बहुत ऑल थ्रू आउट द प्रेगनेंसी भी लीगल है ठीक है सर्च करो कि कौन सी कंट्री है जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक है ताकि एमयूएन में जाके आप उस कंट्री को क्वेश्चन पूछ सको so that you can raise questions why researching about other countries and other portfolios is important to ask questions कभी न्यूज़ चैनल्स में देखा है कि वो बहसबाजी चल रही होती है, लड़-गुथ रहे होते हैं कि आपने ऐसा करा, आपने ये करा, आपकी पार्टी ने ये करा। एग्ज़ैक्टली एमयूएन के अंदर इन अ मोर सिस्टमैटिक मैनर ऐसा नहीं है। बिल्कुल एग्ज़ैक्टली नॉट लाइक अ डिबेट। देयर इज़ अ सर्टेन रूल हाउ यू आस्क अ क्वेश्चन, but you need to research about other countries also to ask questions, so that while you are debating, while you are in the committee, you can even ask other countries जिसमें problematic है वो चीज. I hope I was clear till here. You have a committee. I'll I'll just wrap up from the very start. You have a committee and you are in a particular committee. Every committee has an agenda. Agenda means the topic of the particular committee. You have one portfolio, which is your country. Okay. Now you are representing that country. You are the delegate of that country. Means someone who's representing. All right. Now you need to defend your country. You need to talk on behalf of the country you are allocated, even if you personally disagree, right? And you need to even have a good idea about what other countries are doing to ask questions, so that you can raise questions. टारगेटिंग कभी देखा है कि टारगेट करते हैं लोग एक दूसरे को, जिसका जो वीक पॉइंट होता है, मान लो, चलो हम एक बहुत वेग एग्जांपल लेते हैं, देयर इज अ फाइट गोइंग ऑन, ऑलराइट, you will want to target the other person by their weakness, right? You will not, for example, two people are fighting, so party A will target something in party B which party B lacks in, right? मान लो दो पार्टीज की लड़ाई हो रही है, पार्टी ए 1 and 2. पार्टी 1 पार्टी 2 से वही क्वेश्चन पूछेगी जिसमें वो कमजोर है, दे आर वीक इन. सो रिसर्च मेनली अबाउट द कंट्रीज इन विच वो प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत ज्यादा हैं, दे आर वीक इन दैट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, हम यूनाइटेड नेशंस एनवायरनमेंट प्रोग्राम के अंदर है, यूएनईपी. ऐसी बहुत सारी कंट्रीज है जिसमें इन्वायरमेंट रिलेटेड इश्यूज बहुत ज्यादा है. कुछ कंट्रीज ऐसी हैं जिनमें ज्यादा प्रॉब्लमैटिक नहीं है. हम इंडिया का ही, चलो इंडिया का एग्जांपल लेते हैं, सबसे इजी. इंडिया में मीटिंग हो रही है ऑन इन्वायरमेंट रिलेटेड इश्यूज. ओके. नाउ इंडिया में दिल्ली एनसीआर, ऑल ऑफ यू नो, एनसीआर इज मोस्ट पोल्यूटेड इन इंडिया. ओके. अब दूसरे स्टेट्स लाइक केरला, तमिलनाडु, कर्नाटका, these people will question Delhi government. These people can question हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट कि आपके एरिया में सबसे ज्यादा पोल्यूशन रहता है, आप क्या कर रहे हैं इसमें, ये दिक्कत हुई, ऐसे हुआ, राइट? ये बाकी के स्टेट्स क्वेश्चन कैसे पूछ पाए? बिकॉज बाकी के स्टेट्स को पता था कि एनसीआर में ये दिक्कत है, राइट? सिमिलरली व्हेन ये हमने एग्जांपल लिया था कि इंडिया के सारे स्टेट्स की मीटिंग हो रही है, जिसमें बाकी स्टेट्स के लीडर्स एनसीआर वाले लोगों से पूछ रहे हैं, एनसीआर के लीडर से पूछ रहे हैं कि ये दिक्कत है, आप कैसे सॉल्व कर रहे हो, राइट? सिमिलरली इन अ एमयूएन कमिटी आल्सो, when you know who's the weaker person, when you know who's the weaker country, then you can ask questions. And even when you know कि आपकी कंट्री में कैसा चल रहा है, तो अगर कोई और कंट्री भी आपसे कोई सवाल करती है, तो आप उसका आंसर बहुत आसानी से दे पाओगे. All right, this was about the basic idea. Now we will start with the rules of procedure, which is also called ROPs in short form. ये rules of procedure क्या होता है? See, I told you all that MUN is done exactly how things are done in real life. And in real life, for meetings to happen, मान लो किसी कैबिनेट की मीटिंग हो रही है, अ प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स मीटिंग इज हैपनिंग, और इवन अ मीटिंग बिटवीन सीईओज आर हैपनिंग इन एनी कंट्री और एनी स्टेट. ऐसा नहीं होता कि झुंड बना के बैठ जाते हैं लोग एंड दे जस्ट स्टार्ट स्पीकिंग. देयर इज अ पर्टिकुलर वे इन विच द मीटिंग इज कंडक्टेड, right? There's a particular format of how people speak. There's a particular way in which discussions happen. And for that, there are rules of procedure. How the procedure of the meeting will work, how things would be carried on. अब आप सभी के पास एक कंट्री है, ओके? You have a country, you are in a committee, उस committee का topic भी पता है, but how will that meeting or that discussion or that debate will happen for 2 days? अगर कोई preset तरीका ही नहीं है, there's no alignment of how things will go on, देन बहसबाजी होने का चांस ज्यादा है एंड किसी को अपनी बात ना रखने का चांस ज्यादा है. आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, दिस इज सिंपल सी, इन वेरी सिंपल वर्ड्स वी आर टॉकिंग हियर. If we do not have a particular way in how things will proceed, there's a high chance that we miss on to the important discussions and rather waste our time more. School के अंदर, you all go to schools, you have different periods, right? 40 minutes English, math, science, GST, all of these things. SST, सॉरी, GST. अब अगर स्कूल में कोई टाइम टेबल ही नहीं होता, कोई रूल ही नहीं होता, तो कब कौन सा पीरियड है, कब कौन सा टॉपिक पढ़ाया जाएगा, किसी को कोई आइडिया होता? टाइम वेस्ट ज्यादा होता. उसी तरह से इन एन MUN, हाउ द कमिटी वर्क्स, देर आर पर्टिकुलर प्रीसेट रूल्स of how discussion will happen, and they are called the basic ROPs. Okay, ये ROPs जब आप अपने MUN Day 1 पे आपके जो एग्जीक्यूटिव बोर्ड मेंबर्स होंगे वो आपको एक बार दोबारा भी एक्सप्लेन करेंगे, तो कोई डरने की बात नहीं कि हम भूल जाएंगे या कुछ होगा. बट please listen to me very carefully, because now I am taking a lot of time to explain you in very simple language. Okay, now rules of procedure. सबसे पहले, when even you go in a school, what happens first? That is your attendance. Similarly, in an MUN also, attendance happens on the very first day, on both of the days actually. सबसे पहले, when your committee will start, there will be attendance, जिसमें all the countries would be called out, and the chairperson, your judges will mark that who's present, who's absent, like which country is present, which country is absent. Okay? First of all, attendance happens. After that, the agenda of the committee is set. Motions are raised. अब ये motion क्या होता है? Can anyone tell me what is a motion? In simple language, what does motion means? Motion means a movement. In simple layman's language, motion means movement. Movement means how to move forward. In a committee, motions are used to move the committee forward. Okay. नाउ यू विल वंडर कि कमिटी फॉरवर्ड कहाँ पे, क्या कहीं चल के कमिटी जा रही है? नो. जैसे स्कूल के अंदर बेल होती है, तो यू नो कि अच्छा अब नेक्स्ट पीरियड है. टू मूव समथिंग आफ्टर दिस, वी रेज अ मोशन इन अ कमिटी. बेसिकली से ना पीरियड खत्म हो गया, और टू चेंज द पीरियड. सो टू चेंज एंड टू मूव फॉरवर्ड, वी हैव मोशन. Motion is there to move the committee forward. Now, let's take an example that attendance has happened. Now, all of you are simply sitting. What to do in the committee next? We raise a motion for say. Someone, any one delegate, will raise a motion. कि now this country raises a motion to move forward the committee or move into a formal session. Now, अब ये motion कैसे raise करते हैं? कैसे बोलते हैं कि motion? नहीं, मोशन रेज करने की एक पर्टिकुलर लाइन होती है. देयर इज अ वे हाउ यू रेज अ मोशन इन द कमिटी. एंड हाउ इज दैट डन? All of you, please note, if you have been attentive and you are writing, please note, I will speak up a line now and it will be used for raising motions. I'm giving you 20 seconds or 30 seconds. Bring a notepad and please note. I'll be speaking a line and that will be used to raise a motion. All right. I hope all of you might have taken up a notepad or something like that till now. All of you can start writing. I'll write here also. The delegate of dash would like to raise a motion to dash. Now ये दो dash क्या है? The delegate of your portfolio. Here you will speak your portfolio. For example, you want to raise a motion in the committee. ठीक है? How you do that? You do that via speaking this particular line. The delegate of, for example, your portfolio is France. Then you say the delegate of France would like to raise a motion to move the committee forward into a formal session. मान लो committee informal session में थी and you want now the committee moves to a formal session. So you speak this particular line that the delegate of France, for example, your portfolio is France, whichever your portfolio is, you speak that, would like to raise a motion to move the committee into a formal session. And motions भी कई तरह के होते हैं. It's not कि there's just one motion कि अब फॉर्मल सेशन में जाना है. ये जब आप एम्यून के अंदर जाओगे, आपका डे 1 होगा, तब आपको बेटर समझ आएगा कि अभी मैं एग्जैक्टली मोशन का काम क्यों है. बट सिंस वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आरओपीज हियर, सो motion is a very important part. First of all, what happens is attendance. Like in school, you can see, to recall this, you can just imagine a scenario of what happens in school. First of all, attendance happens, then there is a particular period, right? And the bell rings. This period changes जाता है. Similarly, attendance happens in an MUN, then motions are raised. Motions are raised to start with the speeches, motion are raised. All right. So I was just, all of you please note down and then I will explain. एक बारी note कर लो कि points क्या हैं. Now, in an MUN, we have different points for different things. अब ये points क्या होते हैं? I will start with one by one that what exactly these points are. Point of personal privilege. For example, you are sitting in the conference in the committee room and you feel like there is something कि AC बहुत ज़्यादा speed पे चल रहा है. You need pen, you need a chit pad. Any personal discomfort is happening with you. Okay? कि आपको गर्मी लग रही है, आपको ठंड लग रही है, आप कोई बोल रहा है, कोई स्पीच दे रहा है, आपको नहीं सुन रहा है, you want the point to be repeated, anything which is causing you a personal discomfort and you need that to be changed. You raise a point of personal privilege in the committee. Right? I think I'm clear with this point of personal privilege for any personal discomfort. Point of order. Point of order is raised on the judges, on the executive board, on the chairperson and vice chairperson. Now delegates, ये judges क्यों हैं? ये executive board क्या है? See, MUN is just not an event, it's a competition also. In every committee there's a competition going on. Who's the best speaker, in the sense who has done the best debate, who is doing the best, who is delivering the best speeches. बहुत बारी आपने देखा होगा बेस्ट डेलीगेट का कैश प्राइज है, ये है, वो है. वो कैसे होता है, क्यों होता है? इन एवरी MUN committee also there's a competition going on within your committee, that which person has done the best research, which person is speaking the best, which person is बेस्ट इन रेजिंग क्वेश्चन, सारी चीजें देखी जाती हैं. एंड फॉर दैट एंड इवन टू मॉडरेट द कमिटी, जैसे स्कूल के अंदर देयर इज अ टीचर दैट टीचेस यू एंड makes thing happen. Similarly, in every committee you have executive board, or you say the judge panel. Executive board is there in every committee, right? And we have chairperson, we have vice chairperson, and so on. The executive board judges you for 2 days, give you marks, listens to your speeches, moderates the committee and does everything. आप एमयूएन के अंदर क्वेश्चंस पूछोगे, स्पीचेस दोगे, पेपर वर्क करोगे, उन चीजों को मार्क कौन करेगा? Who will decide that which person was the best? Who will decide that which delegate was the best? That is the executive board. All right. And in every committee, you will have 2 to 3 to 4 people, chairperson, vice chairperson, and so on. They will judge you. All right, which will give you marks. And they will decide who's the winner, first, second, and third, namely. Okay, the best delegate, the special mention, and all of these titles which are given. अब मैं इसके बारे में बात क्यों कर रही थी? Because I was talking about point of order. Point of order is raised when the executive board is not following some rules. For example, the chairperson in your committee comes and skips the attendance only. आपकी कमिटी में आपका चेयरपर्सन आता है एंड वो सीधा कमिटी स्टार्ट कर देता है, डिबेट स्टार्ट हो जाती है विदाउट अटेंडेंस. Then you can raise a point of order on the executive board because they have done something procedurally incorrect. प्रोसीजर में कोई रूल में कोई गलती करी है आपके जज पैनल ने, तो यू रेज अ पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर. यू रेज अ पॉइंट ऑफ पर्सनल प्रिविलेज व्हेन यू हैव सम पर्सनल डिस्कम्फर्ट. ओके, अब मैं बहुत देर से बात कर रही थी दैट यू आस्क क्वेश्चंस, यू आस्क अदर कंट्रीज द क्वेश्चंस, आप रेज करते हो, आप टारगेट करते हो. वो कैसे होता है? whenever you want to ask any other country any question, you raise a point of information. As the name suggests, that information, it gives you information. You want to know more about whatever you are asking. For example, India wants to ask a question to Pakistan, then India can raise a point of information to ask a question. That is point of information. अब ये इंक्वायरी क्या है? पॉइंट ऑफ इंक्वायरी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अभी जो मैं इतनी सारी चीजें आपको बता रही हूँ, जो मैं रूल्स समझा रही हूँ, देयर इज अ वेरी हाई पॉसिबिलिटी दैट यू गेट कंफ्यूज्ड, दैट यू फॉरगेट वट एवर थिंग्स वर टॉट टू यू, बिकॉज यू आर डूइंग इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. तो याद करने में, समझने में थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. तो यू विल हैव डाउट्स रिगार्डिंग द रूल्स एंड हाउ थिंग्स आर वर्किंग. So you can raise a point of inquiry, and the executive board, the chairperson or the vice chairperson, will cater to your inquiry. Point of inquiry is raised for any procedural doubt you have on the ROPs, that what exactly has to be done. आपको नहीं समझ आ रहा है. For example, you are unable to understand how to raise a motion. You are unable to understand how to raise a placard. You simply ask a point of inquiry. You raise a point of inquiry, and the executive board, the judges, will tell you whatever your doubt is. And it is their responsibility that they answer you. So ऐसा नहीं है, डरना नहीं है कि हमने 2 बारी पूछ लिया, बहुत सिली डाउट है. Whatever your doubt is, ask to the executive board by raising a point of inquiry. All right. So we have now discussed 4 points: point of personal privilege for personal discomfort, point of order, which is raised on the executive board, point of information when you want to ask questions, and inquiry whenever you have any doubts regarding to the rules or anything which you are unable to understand and you want the judges to explain it to you. Remember, delegates, it is your right and their responsibility that they explain and cater to all of your doubts. So do not hesitate whenever you want to ask any question, any doubt, even for the fifth, sixth time on any of the day, whether it's day 1 or day 2, you can use your right of point of inquiry and ask your question and get your things clear. Whatever I am telling you right now, you can ask them again and they will explain you. So you need not to worry about anything there. All right. So basic rules of procedure were: your attendance will happen, then motions will be raised, then points would be raised, and where different points you can ask whatever things, because every point has a particular, aim. अगर पर्सनल प्रिविलेज रेज कर रहे हो तो यू कैन टेल व्हाट थिंग यू वांट टू बी चेंज, फैन तेज करना है, कम करना है, order on the executive board, and so on. So I'm giving you 1 minute, please note these four, and then we'll move forward. All right, I saw two doubts mainly: that what is the difference between point of information and point of inquiry. Point of information is there to ask questions from another delegates. See, whenever you want to raise a question to some other country, you raise a point of information. To ask question from the different country, a point of information is raised. A point of inquiry is raised when you have some doubt regarding how things would be done. Doubt from ROP. I just now told you that there are different and several procedures of how things work. आप पॉइंट ऑफ इंक्वायरी तब रेज कर सकते हो जब आपको मान लो ये समझ नहीं आ रहा मोशन कैसे रेज करते हैं, आपको ये समझ नहीं आ रहा कि कमिटी में क्या चल रहा है, और मान लो कोई डॉक्यूमेंट बनानी हो कैसे बनानी, एनी डाउट्स विच यू आर पर्सनली हैविंग रिगार्डिंग कि कैसे क्या करना है, विच यू वांट टू आस्क फ्रॉम द जजेस फ्रॉम द एग्जीक्यूटिव बोर्ड, then a point of inquiry is used. And whenever you want to ask a question to another country, you want to raise a question to another country, then point of information is raised. All right, I hope it is clear. Point of inquiry is used when you want to ask a question or a doubt or want to clarify something from the executive board, and point of information is raised when you want to ask questions from different countries. Okay, now I'll move forward to about two different things we have in a MUN committee. See, in a conference, the committee is divided into two parts: formal and informal debate. A formal and informal क्या है? See, when a committee is going on, when a committee is happening, all the time, all the time, people do not just sit at their benches and just give speeches. There are two segments in a committee: formal एंड इनफॉर्मल। अब इनफॉर्मल का मतलब ये नहीं है कि सब अपनी पर्सनल चिट चैट गॉसिप शुरू कर देंगे। नो, what happens is that in a formal session you deliver your speeches, mod and unmod topics and all of these things, and during an informal session you gather all together, the whole committee comes all together and they discuss on how to move committee forward. See, in simple words, when the committee is in a formal session, आप सभी अपनी स्पीचेस दोगे, क्वेश्चंस पूछोगे नॉर्मली, ओके. When a informal session is going on in the committee, what you do is आप सभी लोग all together come up and gather at a particular place. जो भी आपका कमिटी रूम होगा उसके अंदर आप गैदर करके you straight away talk directly to countries कि अच्छा आगे क्या करना है, हमें कैसे डिस्कशन करना है, हमें कौन से टॉपिक पे डिस्कशन करना है. अब एक कमिटी के अंदर ऐसा तो नहीं होगा ना कि कोई पर्टिकुलर पर्सन विल डिसाइड व्हाट विल हैपन. All of you all together as a whole committee needs to decide and come up on single thing ki what exactly has to be done. So during the informal session you all of you get the opportunity to get up, make a group. जैसे जब टीचर चली जाती है ना क्लास में से एंड सब एकदम उठ के बैठ जाते हैं, एकदम सबसे एकदम डायरेक्ट बात होती है कि अच्छा ये करें वो करें. सिमिलरली एमयूएन के अंदर आपकी कमेटी के अंदर जब एक इनफॉर्मल सेशन हो रहा है which is called the unmoderated caucus, unmod in short form. You can write this. The informal session in the immune committee is called the unmod, जिसकी फुल फॉर्म है unmoderated caucus. बहुत फैंसी वर्ड है बट उसका सिंपल मीनिंग है इनफॉर्मल सेशन. फॉर्मल सेशन को फॉर्मल सेशन दो तरह का होता है, एक जब आपकी जीएसएल चलती है एंड एक जब आपका मॉड सेशन चलता है. अब ये जीएसएल क्या होता है, मॉड सेशन क्या होता है, we will come on that. But for now, please note that in MUN committee, two types of sessions are there: formal, informal. Informal, we have GSL, mod session, and your documentations also. Wait, I write that. And during the informal session, you have the unmod. Unmod basically means the informal session, and mod and GSN and ये सारी चीजें means the formal session. एंड अनमॉड मॉड में कैसे जाना है उसके लिए भी मोशन रेज होता है, जो मोशन मैंने आपको बताया था दैट समथिंग विच इज रिक्वायर्ड टू मूव द कमिटी फॉरवर्ड, अ मोशन इज रेज्ड. ऑल राइट, नाउ वी विल कम ऑन जीएसएल फर्स्ट कि जीएसएल क्या होता है. जीएसएल स्टैंड्स जनरल स्पीकर्स list. What is general speakers list? As I told you all that there is a agenda which you have in the committee, the main topic. Give me a. All right. See, now फॉर्मल एंड इनफॉर्मल सेशन हो रहे हैं जिसमें जीएसएल है, मॉड है, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है. अब हम जीएसएल के ऊपर बात कर रहे थे कि ये जीएसएल क्या होता है. सी, GSL is basically a speech you in GSL, which is General Speakers List. You give a speech on the agenda, the main topic. As I told, every committee has a particular agenda, the main topic. You give the speech on the main topic overall. That what do you think? Basically, GSL से committee start होती है. In the start of the committee, जब attendance हो जाती है, तो हर committee start होती है with GSL, General Speakers List, जिसमें सारी countries for mainly 90 seconds get to speak on the agenda, the main topic. एंड ये डिसाइडेड टाइम होता है 90 सेकेंड्स ही. समटाइम्स 60 होता है बट मेनली इट इज 90 seconds ओनली. You speak on the agenda, the main topic. All right. Basically, we start the committee by giving speeches on the overall agenda, जिसमें you tell what is the current scenario, what problems and what solutions could be raised on the particular issue. ठीक है. Now, what is this mod? Moderated caucus. We are now coming on moderated caucus. Moderated caucus क्या होता है? Now I will take my best example which I like. For example, we are having a pizza. Okay. This is a whole pizza, right? Pizza has slices. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम पूरा पिज्जा एक बारी में खा जाएंगे. Pizza has slices. Now, take for example, ये एक पिज्जा है, okay? Take for example that this pizza is your agenda. This whole pizza is agenda. कि ये पिज्जा है, पिज्जा जैसा लग नहीं रहा होगा बट ठीक है, दैट्स ओके. ये जो भी है, मान लो दिस इज अ रोटी और एनीथिंग. It has different slices. Okay. Now take it as example that this whole thing is your agenda. Now tell me one thing. Can we eat the whole pizza altogether? No. We take a particular slice, right? First we'll have one slice, then we'll have another slice, एक slice करके. Similarly, now take that your whole agenda is the whole pizza. From that agenda, we take out subtopic. Agenda एक टॉपिक है, उसके अंदर से और हमने एक सब टॉपिक निकाल लिया ताकि हम और स्पेसिफिक होके बात करें. For 2 days, we cannot just give speeches on the agenda. We need to get more particular. We should be more precise on what particular thing we are talking about, right? So, what we do is we take out subtopics, and those subtopics are from the agenda only. Remember it from the example of pizza. Pizza है, उसकी एक slice खाएंगे. The whole pizza is agenda, and one slice is the subtopic, and that subtopic is mainly called the moderated caucus. Moderated caucus topic. Moderated caucus topic. जो आप लोग अभी कमेंट सेक्शन में लिख रहे थे mod topics are basically subtopics from the agenda are discussed in the moderated caucus sessions. I see some of you writing when will this end. Within next 10 to 15 minutes we'll wrap up the session for today. Okay, now I know this looks very colorful and what exactly we are doing some games and all, but those who have missed what I was saying in the previous minute, we were talking about what exactly is a moderated caucus. Moderated caucus is basically A subtopic, mod topic, is basically a subtopic from the agenda, which I have explained via example of a pizza, and we take out a slice from the pizza, that is the subtopic. Now हम फॉर्मल सेशन के अंदर आ रहे थे, तो मॉड सेशन, when committee altogether decides the mod session, a mod topic is raised and the motion is passed, and people get into a moderated session. I know this is sounding very complex right now, but if in short I have to tell what exactly is happening, you go in the committee, attendance happens, you start with GSL speeches. ये स्पीचेस आपके पूरे एजेंडा के ऊपर होती हैं, नॉट ऑन पर्टिकुलर सब टॉपिक. यू स्टार्ट विद जीएसएल स्पीचेस, जो मेन एजेंडा मेन टॉपिक के ऊपर होती हैं. एंड देन आफ्टर सम स्पीचेस वी पॉज, वी गो इनटू अ अनमोड सेशन, जिसमें सारे लोग उठ के डिस्कशन करेंगे कि अच्छा अब आगे हमें क्या करना है. Usually unmoderated caucus or unmod sessions, which is the informal session, is there because the whole committee wants to decide on the mod session कि अब हमें कौन सा सब टॉपिक लेना है. एक बारी committee decide कर लेती है, then the committee gets back into the formal session in the mod session, and the discussion on the subtopics happen. All right, I hope I was clear till here. There are some more things to it which we will discuss, but not today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow. And we have documentation also. Documentation we would be discussing on the last day. But let me just brief you from the very start that what all things we have discussed. We started from what is a MUN. MUN basically stands for Model United Nations. United Nations exist in real life. It is a multinational international organization जिसमें 193 countries are part. United Nations is formed so that we can discuss relate multiple issues which are there all throughout the world. For example, healthcare, child safety, environment, and so on. To discuss these particular issues in more deep and depth and specific, United Nations has different organs, or you say departments. Similarly, in an MUN, we have committees which particularly discuss specific issue. अगर आप WHO में तो हेल्थ केयर, UNHRC मीन्स ह्यूमन राइट्स, CSW मीन्स वुमेन राइट्स, UNEP मीन्स एनवायरमेंट प्रोग्राम. IPN फोटोग्राफी पे हम कल आएंगे, not today, but all of you must know what exactly MUN is. Now, every committee has an agenda. Agenda means the main topic. अब हर मीटिंग का, हर डिस्कशन का, देयर विल बी अ पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, एंड इन एवरी कमिटी देयर इज अ agenda. Agenda is the particular issue on which the discussion would happen. Portfolio means the country which is allotted to you, कि आपके पास कौन सी country है, that is portfolio. You are representative or say the delegate of that country, कि आप उसके country हो. Whichever country you have, you need to defend that country, you need to speak on behalf of that country and represent that country, basically be the face of that country. Even if you personally do not agree to what the country is doing, but for those 2 days you need to defend that country because you are the diplomat of that country, basically someone who is representing. Your agendas and everything would be, I would be posting again on your particular committee group, so need not to worry about that. Also, we will be sharing you background guides. Background guides will be some research work done by the executive board so that you guys can take reference of the background guide and do your research and learn more about the agenda and the committee. We will be sharing background guides very soon. Portfolio means your country. All right. Now, why you need to research? You need to research so that you can speak on behalf of your country and ask questions. We came on ROPs. We started with ROPs and we have covered half of the ROPs today. ROPs means rules of procedure. In an MUN, there's a particular way how committees work, there's a particular flow in which the things work. A predetermined rules, a set of rules. Okay. Now, attendance is there. सबसे पहले there will be attendance of what all countries are present. Similarly, remember this like school. Motion Motions, different motions would be raised so that you move something ahead in the committee, and there's a particular line to raise the motion. You have different points: point of personal privilege when you have personal discomfort, point of order, this is on the executive board. When you feel the executive board is doing something procedurally inaccurate or they are not following any rules, you can raise a point of order. You have point of information. Point of information is raised when you want to ask a question. Ask question from any country. For example, India wants to ask something to USA or to China. India can raise a point of information and ask other country. Point of inquiry, which is also called point of parliamentary inquiry, that is basically used when you have any doubts regarding to the procedure or anything, any issue you're facing in terms of rules, you can ask that. Do not hesitate, you have the right. And you can ask your executive board members. What is executive board now? As I told you that immune is also a competition, that you have judges basically in every committee which moderate you, mark you for everything, and they are called the executive board. In a MUN committee, there are formal and informal sessions. In formal session, you have GSL, mod session and documentation, and in informal session, you have unmod. Unmod is basically जब आप लोग अपनी सीट से उठ के ग्रुप में डायरेक्टली एक दूसरे से बात कर सकते हो एंड डिसाइड कर सकते हो कि आगे कमिटी में क्या करना है. एंड इन फॉर्मल सेशन यू हैव GSL विच इज जनरल स्पीकर्स लिस्ट. इसके अंदर यू गिव अ स्पीच ऑफ 90 सेकेंड्स ऑन द मेन होल टॉपिक. हमने मॉड टॉपिक के ऊपर बात करी, मॉडरेटेड कॉकस के बारे में. मॉडरेटेड कॉकस इज बेसिकली a subtopic. A moderated topic, caucus topic, is basically a subtopic which we take out from the whole agenda. Whole agenda, which we took from the example of pizza and one slice. So your one slice would be a mod topic, and the whole agenda is the main topic only. So your moderated caucus session is basically जो सब टॉपिक पूरी कमिटी एक साथ डिसाइड करेगी कि हमें किस बारे में और बात करनी है. दैट विल बी अ मॉड सेशन. एंड ये डिसाइड कैसे होगा और वो कैसे होगा, सारी चीजें वो आप अनमॉड के अंदर करोगे. अनमॉड इज अ इनफॉर्मल सेशन. But in an MUN, how participating you are, how active you are, even during the informal session is also marked. You have marks for diplomacy, you have marks for your foreign policy, you have marks for discipline, each and everything. Each and every question you ask, each and every speech you give, everything has marks in an immune committee, and that is how a best delegate is chosen. So, this was all what we talked about today. You can follow this Instagram ID and you can have a good update on whatever is going on. We will have two more sessions tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Okay, I'm coming on doubts. Will all committees be done in same place? No, a particular committee will have a different room, a different classroom. What should I focus on in my first immune? My advice to everyone who comes in for an MUN is that whenever you are going in an MUN, participating in an MUN, please try as much as you can speak. Even if you speak incorrect, speak. If you are coming for your first MUN, एजेंडा के बारे में रिसर्च करो एंड अपनी कंट्री के बारे में एटलीस्ट रिसर्च करो एंड प्रिपेयर अ स्पीच ऑफ 90 सेकेंड्स. उसके बाद कैसे क्या होगा वो आप खुद कमिटी के अंदर समझ जाओगे. बट वॉट यू शुड हैव एज अ बेसिक thing in your hand is research little about your agenda, know about your agenda, know about your country, and prepare a speech of 90 seconds on that agenda. After that, you yourself will understand what to be done. All right. You can follow this Instagram ID. For your reference, I would be posting the agenda, which is the subtopic, on the groups, and we you will be given background guides. Background guides are basically prepared to help you all in your research and to explain you the agenda. Everyone will get their background guides in the particular committee. Every particular committee has a different background guide, and I will be posting the agenda again. Today, we have not discussed everything, every rule, and everything which is there, but some part of it. We still have 2 days of session left. In that, we would be discussing the rest part of the You say the rules of procedure, the documents, and we will be having a doubt session also, in which all of you can ask your doubts. I hope I was able to communicate you the basics of MUN and some of the ROPs. Thank you so much all for joining, and keep the spirit high, and please join in the rest 2 days also. Believe me, this will help you a lot. Um if we prepare a script on the agenda, so we will provide a person to help us a little more with the script of the agenda. Basically, it's not about script of the agenda, it's about you preparing a speech. And about some people, आपको कुछ भी याद नहीं करना है. You can carry your devices, you can carry your laptop, you can carry your phone. You are allowed. We will not provide you Wi-Fi or anything, but usually you are allowed to use your mobile phones, so you can use them to give your speeches. आपको कोई script नहीं prepare करनी है. You have to prepare a speech on the agenda. Speech कैसे prepare करनी है, कैसे क्या करना है, that everything we will talk about tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So do not worry, today was just the start and give you a basic idea of United Nations MUNs and some rules. We have 2 more days and we will tell you how to research, how to prepare a speech. And you do not have to prepare any particular script, just a speech on the agenda. Meanwhile, I'll be posting you the agenda today. Please do research on the agenda for sure and about your portfolio and your country. Thank you so much all for joining today, and see you all tomorrow. Good night.